Hi, and welcome to the Read Only Coordinator Training. So today we are going to walk through the Read Only Access feature in both V1 and V2, what it is, how it's used, and how you can get started with your Read Only Access. So let's just begin with a quick overview. So Read-only access means you can view the data in your team's profile, but aren't able to make very many changes. It's designed for team members who need visibility, but not complete control. So some good use cases include schedulers that may need to like look up provider info. If you have a billing team that checks like payer statuses, or clinical directors reviewing credentialing progress. Or maybe if you even have like client-facing staff that gathers details, but they don't necessarily need to be able to edit anything. All of those will be really good options for someone that should be read-only. So let's just take a deep dive into the platform, starting with V1 access. So when you log in as a read-only coordinator, you'll land on our team page, which is here, and it does look just a little bit different if you are a full access coordinator and you've seen that view before. So up top, we have our toolbar with some left helpful links just to kind of provide some resources for your read-only coordinators. If you're a read-only coordinator on the support page, we will have the read-only tip guide, which is very helpful. It's this one here. And with our tip guides, these have the screenshots and labels everything on the screen, which is very easy for you to go in and help acclimate yourself with. And then also, if I go back there, we have the Modio U page. And here we'll have a video for read only as well for you to review. Um, let's take a look at the next one. So the team tab is the only one that you have viewable here. And on the team tab, we have the team's dashboard. This one is made up of four columns. So provider, tags, compliance, and actions. So with the first one, provider, this gives you the ability to search through your provider roster by either putting in your provider's name. You can do first, last first, or their NPI. So if I were to search here for my provider, it's going to try to match what I've entered. And from there, you can select your provider by clicking on their name or reviewing tags or alerts, whatever your reason was for searching up your provider. That small gray X will pull back your full provider list. Also, you have the ability to filter by tags. So tags are subgroups that's been created usually by a full access coordinator on your team, just a way to kind of split up your list of providers into certain groups. So in this case, let's say you want to look at all of your dermatology providers. If you click that filter, it's going to show you a list of all of the providers that fall under that list. Or maybe we want to see every provider that is affiliated with Office One. Then we can go ahead and select that Office One provider there. And then if you want to clear that, just again, that small gray X is always going to clear the filter that you've set. Next is compliance. This allows you to view like any alerts that your provider may have. So if I click there, we can see like state licenses, DEA, ABMS, OIG, other certs, documents there. Gonna close this one. The last one is the actions column, and there are two icons here. So the first one is the little person icon. That's gonna allow you to go into the provider's profile. And then here, I like to call it a star circle. This one allows you to get a quick view of any CME credits that live inside of your provider's profile. So now let's take a look at the provider's profile card. So that is going to be either where you see your provider's picture, if there is one, or you may just see your provider's initials. However, if you or when you hover over either one of these, you will see it says profile, so you'll know you're in the right place. So I'm going to click on my profile card. So the profile cards opens like a view-only summary of the provider's profile. So you can see lots of details here. If you click on any of these like sections, it'll open up in that provider's profile. In the top right corner of this page, we have our Word document icon. This allows you to download a CV. There's a couple different places in the platform where you can download the CV. It'll pop up with this page, which allows you to determine what data you'd like to appear by checking those boxes. And then you would just hit save. Perfect. So let's take a deeper look into the provider's profile. I'm just going to select my provider's name. And here you can view the sections from personal info all the way down to CME. And when you're clicking in these sections, you want to look for the eyeball. And once it loads, we'll take a closer look. We'll just give it a second. Perfect. So we have our data here. And then on the very far right side of the screen, we have our eyeball under the actions column. This allows you to get a more detailed view of whatever that data point is. So in this case, we're in education and training. So you can see for this medical school entry, Harvard, all of the details, specialty, graduation date. Every single one of these sections will have a place for you to add or view a general note. So, if you want to like be able to communicate certain things with your team, then you could leave that as a general note. And also a place to upload documents. So you'll be able to either drop here or click there to browse to upload. And then down at the bottom, the address details for whatever the location entry is for this data point. As I kind of click through, you'll notice that all of the other sections will pretty much look exactly the same. They all have a very similar functionality. You'll be able to tell what section you're in. Once you get to the top here, you'll see not only is that little box there a little bit darker than the others, but up top we have it labeled for you, the provider's name, as well as practice and employer or whatever section you're in. There's also this green drop down. This will allow you to toggle between profiles. So if you're reviewing something in one provider's profile and then maybe you need to see another provider's profile, you can type in their name, first, last first, or NPI, and then you can select the provider's name. It will populate that provider's profile in the same section that you were previously working in. Perfect. Let's continue to go on. So we have facility affiliations, work history, peer reference, licensure, and again, you'll have the data points and the eyeballs for each of these. Certifications, malpractice, which is like liability insurance, malpractice insurance, if you need to view that. Healthcare payers, and then CME for where you can see those goals and credits. And then below that, we have documents and summaries. So in documents, you can see a list of any documents that live in this provider's profile. You can also click here to see previously completed forms. And let me get us a better example here. I'm going to switch my profile really quickly. Okay, perfect. So this profile has plenty of documents. And also, if I click on my completed forms tab, we can see any previously completed forms by the provider. Here, you were able to use the eyeball to view any details, and then you have the option to view that document by downloading. Going back, you can also upload and download from this page. And then let's go down to the summary. This is the very last page. And this is where you can download a summary or see a summary of all of the data that lives in the provider's profile, but all in one page. Up top, you can print this using the print icon, PDF, and then there's that Word document icon again. This is going to do the same thing that it does in that profile card by allowing you to download that CV. All right, perfect. So let's take a moment, and before we finish off, also I'm going to show you these same things in V2. So I'm going to click my team tab, and I'm going to do a quick refresh here. Let's see. I'm going to just log out really quickly. Looks like I got logged out. Perfect. All right. And so to go into V2, you'll see your V2 button here in the center of the screen. You'll want to click there and we'll go right into V2. May take just a second to load. So all of the data that you were able to see in V1 is going to be the same in V2. There's really no difference except for the view. It's more of an enhanced view. In V2, you'll notice that we have these grids here, and these are customizable. So I want to start by talking about the grid settings, which you'll find up top here where your team name is. And if you have more than one team, when you hit this drop down, whether it's in V1 or V2, you'll see any other teams that you have access to. In V2, as far as grid settings, it's going to be at the very bottom here. And if I click there, it gives me the option to go in and really customize the view of my screen. So I can drag to drop the grids overall or the sections inside of the grid. If you click it to drag and hover over, then you are able to move those sections and grids around. And then you have your active, inactive toggles here on the end. So this is going to allow you to make any section active or inactive. And any changes that you make on this page is only changing your view, not anyone else's on your team. So let's say the only bit of data that you need to be able to review is CQH, then maybe you want to toggle everything off, or maybe you are only responsible for looking up like education and training or like current practice data, then you can hide those other ones by selecting that toggle. As I scroll down, there's one that I want to turn on. Well, it's already enabled on my screen, but if you've never done this before, it won't be checked on yours. That's going to be the Enable Adobe PDF Viewer. You'll want to check that box, and it will allow you to quickly view the document without having to download it first. So once you've set your preferences, just go ahead and hit back. You can use this option here right on the page, or if you hit the one on your browser, doesn't matter. It will still save all of your changes. I'm going to use this one because it's closest to me, so we'll use that to go back. Perfect. So these preferences will be saved for you. So even after you log out, if you log out and the next day you come back to V2, you will not have to go in and make those changes daily. It will remember those changes that you've made. All right, so let's cover some basic V2 grid functionality. So like dragging and dropping the columns to reorder. So this is another way that you can customize your screen. So I've already kind of customized mine a little bit. So if you're looking at yours and it looks a little differently, that's totally normal. But you can take any of these columns and move them around to reorder however you would like them to appear. Next is the advanced filter options. So you'll see your filters. Some of them are drop down, like primary specialty, title, provider tags, where you can select one or more and filter by. So if it's like tags, maybe we want to see like all of our Colorado providers, or maybe we want to see all MDs, and you can select more than one. Maybe I want to do DOs also. And then that X is going to clear those filters. Moving on, you have also some right click options when you are reviewing your provider list here. So if you right click where you see the provider's names, there are a couple of options of things you can do. The first one is open single provider view. Now, single provider view is going to allow you to view your provider's profile individually. So we really like that cohesive view that you get within V2, but sometimes you may still want to see the provider's data, just one at a time. So single provider view is going to be helpful for that. You can choose that right click option, or you can just type the provider's name or NPI up in the top middle search bar. Both will bring you to the same page. All of the same data is displayed. If this is a lock to see, another advanced filter option is these sections drop down in the top right corner where you can say, hey, I'm only reviewing licensure for this provider. I can check that box and then only that data appears. If I were to hit my small gray X up top or gray when you hover over it, red when you select, it will clear you out of single provider view. But if you do that before changing your filter or clearing that filter, then it will just bring back all of your providers for, licensure, state licensed, DEA, state controlled. However, you must go in and actually clear that filter to see all the other grids. So let's hit clear. And I'm going to go back to my provider info grid there. Other right click options is open in prior version. So if you click this in a second tab, it's going to open that provider's profile in V1. Then we have clear all filters. And let's go scooch up just a little bit. Clear all filters, which if you've set lots of filters and you just want to refresh that page, you can choose this option. Generate CV. It's also going to function the same as if you were generating a CV in V1. The view is a little bit different. And also in V2, you do have the option to check the box to include the team logo. You'll want to choose download, or unless you're wanting it to stay in the provider's profile. In that case, you would choose upload. Gonna hit cancel. Again, right click. You have save summary, so printing that full page of provider data. And then we have profile card. So if I click on that, same another way to get a high level overview of the provider's profile. Perfect. So let's continue to just take a quick look. So as you're reviewing the provider's profile in V2, you can pretty much see a lot of the data here, but there may be more data that you're wanting to see, which you can find by just clicking the provider's name. A drop-down will appear, and all of the data for that section will be shown for you. These are going to be the same fields that you'd find in V1, just a different view. Um, At the very far end of the grid on the right-hand side, we have the actions column. So the first one is first icon is a downward arrow. This is going to allow you to download the most recent document. If it's lighter shaded gray, like this one is here, then that means there's no document there to download. But for this one, I'm going to click that arrow. And this is where that PDF viewer comes into play because I'm able to see my document without having to download it first. I can choose to print or download in this top right corner if I need to. The next icon is the side panel. This is where you can view or leave any general notes or view or upload any documents. Closing that. On the end here, this is the toggle to show that the profile is active or inactive. All of these are going to be active. If you were to go to the three dots menu in the top corner, you can filter by, any inactive. So if for some reason you needed to see the inactive provider roster, you can select there. This can also be done in V1 as well. I'm going to click there swiftly and just show you where that lives. So this drop down arrow here shows you the inactive provider list. Perfect. All right, so that is everything I wanted to cover. Um, One thing I will say, if you have, a use case for read-only coordinators and you don't have them yet, but maybe you'd like to have them, you can always email support@modiohealth.com. You'll want to include that person's full name, email address, the team name if you have more than one team in which they need read-only access to. All right, and then today we cover, what is read-only, who is it for, how to navigate in both V1 and V2 in that read-only access, and how to request access if needed. If you have any other additional questions, always feel free to use our chat function in the very bottom of the screen. That's a very quick and easy way to get help. Or you can email us at support@modiohealth.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.